So, I have the worst headache because, like, I went to sleep with wet hair the other day, and what I managed to be saying, so Tebi HiGHEST, Birthright Armenia, believes because they received an award last year or the year before by the government of Pashinyan that it's gonna cover up all the abuses and every incorrect deed and non-action and non-accountability on their half. So, love Lasek, you're anti-government, meaning you being an individual that is against the government. Why would you be pro-Birthright Armenia then? Because they have volunteers who place them in the government. And not Uraman, everything you know about what I've been telling you people for the last how many months, years, and like publicly through my videos about Birthright Armenia, this is just the top of the cake. Maybe from other people, hopefully. But even planetary, there's a lot of truths that are going to be revealed this year about hidden stuff and the governments. And I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you right the flip-flop now. And Birthright Armenia is going down in their own way. In their own way. Exposure 101. Okay, so مكفارگانورش پانل بونه این کسلو سلیک یه فوری از گمریه که یه قازر دستن او تیوین آمن مرد خانتالوف این زاستسین وار چی گارلی گمرین یه پک چی مزانر جوود مارتیک ترسید چن هست نیرستغ گالیس چن. And it's like now people all over from Yerevan, because they cannot afford rental prices since they're almost like $2,000 a month, they're all fleeing up north to Yerevan. If not, they're coming to Gyumri. So isn't that interesting? Trust what Talar has to say, always. And I do recall some of the other Gyumretzis that would listen to me when I used to say that. You know, they'd be like, Gerni, Armenian, Gerni. Gerni, desek, Gerni, Yerav. So it's only going to get a lot more intense. Vorovedev, there's a lot more that's going to be happening soon. I think on Popokutuner shotgun. Terbidi badai. As I'm booked, Popokutunera. Yeah, like honestly, if I walked around Gyumri back in, I don't know, even 2015, 2016 with all these face tattoos, it's unheard of. It's unheard of. You know what I'm saying? So Hima, I think it's a little bit more, I don't know if you want to call it normalized, but what's the word I'm looking for? Mikich Haskanelia, I think, for certain, you know. So I'm going to make myself some hot cocoa. Would you like some? I fell asleep with my hair wet, so I have the worst headache today. In order to save freaking money, I'm turning off the heater at night because it's going to cost too much money. So, yeah. So, you know what I need? I need a new tarot deck. That's what I need. Ara, somebody buy me a fucking new tarot deck, okay? I live as high as I can get away with it, okay? In Yerevan, there's this one shop. I cannot freaking remember the name for the life of me. Around my birthday, I hopped in there with a girl named Lori who lives there, who's also Syrian Armenian from Canada. I think living in Yerevan for 6 years. I haven't talked to her in a while. Isn't it interesting? But yeah, they ran out of tarot. So somebody find out for me. I could use a new tarot deck, even for my personal own well-being. Okay, it's like therapy to me. Therapy. Connectivity to the ethers and sugin more to buying azizner. Inch and ink. It's fucking like leather, man. It's sugin more to gashi in a minute. You know, I can't help but like certain things are like resurfacing again right now, and it seems like I don't know if things are on like a synchronicity. I think so. I think I know more than I say I do. It's not I think I know. I don't want to talk about it, I guess, all the time. There's so much more I could say, people. Oh my goodness, you know. But no, Talat is a witch. I can't help but like the past of like 2019, it's like resurfacing, Noren. When I was at Shiraz Tankaran in Ara, the director there, he was drinking like cognac or vodka, and he was making my mom showed up. Well, he made my mom show up because go watch my old videos. I don't want to get into the whole details with my mom. If you've been watching me this far, you should know the history, the story of everything. And he wouldn't believe that my mom was Armenian. A lot of people don't think my mother is Armenian. They look at her and they think she's Russian, because she's got like the reddish blondish hair. She's all freckled out. And a lot of people say I don't look like her. Some people say I do look like her, but majority of people say I don't look like her. And he was kind of questioning if she was Armenian. My mother, when she left that Tankaran, she felt belittled because she was picking on me for so long. I hadn't even talked to my mom in years. She comes to Armenia charging about, making it like screaming at me like a crazy lunatic, headvan from the taxi. Achchi, mazeret bidi kashem bidi arunera bidi ichetsene kilchit, mazeret kilchit bidi zarnem badi minchiv aruneru mech, screaming. The whole neighborhood's freaking staring at us. Oh my goodness, this is her mother. Translation, girl, I'm going to take you by the head and the hair, slam your head against the wall and break your head until your head bleeds. And that's how she talks. But so, you know, I had made a video about this before, like last year. And he goes to my mom, no joke, no exaggeration. He goes, Talarin naman achchik chaga. Like he was like drinking, and he goes, you are so lucky to have your daughter. Talarin naman achchik chaga. And I think it's because like I opened up about my Sasunsi heritage and my dad's Hamshan heritage, and we were just talking for hours and hours, and he's probably like, where did this girl come from? And I told him I'm investing in some buildings here, you know, and you know, which I already did, but I'm gonna invest more. And I think he was just shocked. Like, where did this girl come from? She's so fast. At that time, I was actually going to partner up with Bella Harutunian, who's the manager of Gyumri Technology Center, and we were going to buy a building together. Okay, that was somewhat initially the plan. But then when I saw how she does business, she's more of a host than a business manager. I was like, I pulled back, and I was like, no, I'm not trusting. I'd rather just invest in buildings by myself or do things by myself. And then I had the whatever paperwork and documents for other investors. So that's separate, that's finished. But it's interesting how things are repeatedly, you know, sometimes they resurface as a reminder, or it's like your higher self, or it's like your dead ancestors. Because I have another story about that, but I'm going to keep it at this and not talk more of it. It's sacred, you know. So the reason why my mom left crying, which she never admitted why, she just kept saying, oh, she literally cries in the middle of Gyumri. People are passing by, crying, making it look like I'm hurting her, which I didn't do anything, okay? Narcissistic personality disorder, ishte. And because it hurt her how he told her the truth. He basically said to her, because she kept putting me down. That's my mom's thing. When we're around groups of people, my mom will pick at me. She used to do that to my father. So now that my father is not around, and my father raised us to be like super Armenian, like proud of our Armenian heritage, you have to come back to your motherland and put in, effort and live there. It's not just go there and that's it. You got to live there. So obviously I'm the one in the family, the only one in the family, who seems to be a lot like my father in that way and in so many other ways. And she's just like, you don't know my daughter, she's not a good person, you don't know my daughter, in Armenian. And he's just looking at her, and he just said it again. He goes, Talari naman chiga. He's like, there's no girl out there like Talar. She's like, he goes, I don't see you investing. I don't see you moving to Armenia, to Gyumri, You moving to Gyumri. I don't see you staying in Gyumri. And my mom was like, yeah, I don't really like it here. Anyways, I just want to close it at that. But I don't know, maybe my message is, even if you don't relate to me and you're not Armenian, you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, you got to trust your instinct, in a sense that sometimes memories will come, not because you're not healed or there's some healing to do, people. It's more so of a reminder of something to you. It could be a promise you made. It could be something to realize your worth of something. It could be your intuition telling you you're on the right track, or maybe you need to shift away from what you're doing and go back to the original, or the other plan, or this plan, or revision this, or revise that. So we're in good times, in a sense that a lot of shifts are going to happen, even planetary, man. 2023, and it's coming. Okay, so when, growing up, I think almost everybody was allowed, almost everyone was allowed or approved by their parents. Like the kids, the teenagers, early 20s, they were allowed to travel the world, go on trips. I wasn't even allowed to do that, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Their parents funded a lot of everything. Their parents paid for their education. Their parents would give them, would pay for their food, would pay for their accommodation, would give them certain money. I've never experienced that. So I have this hard time with being put in a category of my life circumstances being like a diasporan Armenian coming to Armenia, because if I'm put in that category, I'm looked upon as, okay, she's got family and parents funding and taking care of her needs. My dad is now dead. He's been dead for 13 years, if not more. He was gonna die when I was 15, when the doctors told me and my entire family, your father's not gonna make it, but he survived. And I know he survived for me. He fought that with his might. My father believed he was a cursed man. It's intense, but my mother is basically 70 years old. Again, I don't talk to her. To each their own. Let them live their life, man. I spent years of my life and decades trying to heal and take care of certain elements of my family. Raised my niece for free. Fed her when I had no money because her own mother wouldn't, And by the way, somebody was saying, why does my eye color change a lot? My eye color doesn't change. My eyes are actually gray. So depending on the lighting and my pupil shoots in and out, my eyes can go from being put in this category as like this North American mentality or this mentality. Please get this out of your mind. I'm not going to suit it. I have my own mentality. I've raised myself. I'm still taking care of myself, and I'm going to take care of myself for the rest of my life, and that's it. No one else is going to do it for me. And I think a lot of times people have a hard time. They want to relate to me, but they have a hard time relating to me because they see an aspect of me. And I know I repetitively say this, and they want to identify as that, or they want to be able to say, no, you can, be around us or associate with us, but I can't relate in other elements because I got to work or I got to take care of myself. I don't have family doing it for me. I don't have friends doing it for me. I got a phone call, guys. Okay, so it was like several years ago. There was this girl from Gyumri, and we were sitting down, I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago, probably 4 years ago now, and we were just sitting and talking about, local issues and like the Armenian culture, and, everybody was kind of giving their approaches and perspectives, and the girl, she looked at me as like, Tala, like, no one should really judge you based off your physical appearance, because you actually think a lot more like the people here than you do than outside Armenians. And I'm like, yeah, because I can relate. So she's like, I really like getting to know you. Like, you think a lot more. So I don't know. It's, if I didn't, so I think if I didn't think like them in some context, what is this? So give you some humor. So I think if I didn't think like them in some context, I wouldn't be able to live here. Don't you think? But these people, they don't think about these things either. The first thing I get from people is, are you still in Gyumri? I mean, kichma attentive yerek. Pay attention, observe. Learn some observation skills. So, yeah. It's January the 14th. And yesterday I'm like contemplating on the fact that I'm going to be 36 years old in 4 months. Literally, today in 4 months. Yeresun vet daregan biditarna, my study. What?